Healing is hard. It's hard, man. It's like, I think what makes it particularly difficult is that life doesn't stop for you to complete the process. It just keeps going. And as you heal a situation, as you move past a trauma, an instant, you're dealing with a new something every day. Even if they aren't anything major, life shifting, anything like that, it's just the fact that you still have to process the day to day. And particularly difficult as a mom is because there's always a need. There's always somebody tugging at you. There's always just the typical anxieties of motherhood that are never going to go away. So as you're processing, as you're in your healing space and on your journey, you still get hit, you know. And I've been reading this book called The Body Keeps Score. It's been kind of helpful because it's been helpful and not at the same time. It's a very difficult book to get through. Not because it's like a hard read, but just because it's very self-reflective. And what I'm having trouble with is I appreciate understanding why I made the choices that I made. It helps me to understand, you know, that there's nothing wrong with me. I was doing the best I could with the tools that I had at the time. But it doesn't remove that resentment. And I think resentment has been the hardest thing to heal, is staring the decisions you made, figuratively, like staring the decisions you made in the face day to day, and wanting to forgive yourself of that and wanting to move past that, and having a difficult time doing so. And I think I just needed to get to the water. I think there's something about the stillness of rivers, but also like the rushing of oceans and nature and life that sits at the beach and at the break of two opposing forces. So the movement of water and the stillness of sand, and it, to me, it just really shows God in his creativity, his all-knowingness, his all-powerful, his omnipresence, that his mind is so much greater than ours, his understanding infinite. And just having to remember that when I'm overwhelmed, it doesn't mean that anything is out of his control. It's all so simple to him. And even though I don't understand it, we may not understand it, it's a perfect plan. And something about being outside and in his creation, in his masterpiece, helps me remember that and be assured in that, to be comfortable in that. And yeah, I'm just hoping that there's an end. In reading a lot about healing, talking to therapists and psychologists, it's almost like it never ends. And that can be really taxing on the heart, because we want them to be an outcome. You know, we want to say, if I do steps A and B, I'm going to get to C. And the thought sometimes that there is no C, and maybe there is no magical destination where it just all makes sense, and where it all ends, and where you stop fighting and you stop pushing and you stop clawing. You know, it's not that I want life to be an easy road. I know that it's not going to be, but the clawing is something about feeling like you're scaling a mountain all the time. It's really exhausting. And I'm just hoping and I'm praying that there's an end to that space coming soon in some way. Healing has been long overdue for me. I think it's hard because I'm having a hard time separating what my actual personality is. Like, I don't know who I am because the trauma happened so young. I was 7 years old, and it just continued after that. And everything I think I do and everything I think I am is in response to that. And I'm trying to figure out, there's no getting back to me. I know a lot of people are like, I just got to get back to myself, and I feel like that you have that frame of work or that reference to get to. That's awesome. And then I don't feel like I have that. So I'm learning who I am. Who am I? I have to start there. And then I can undo or build. And it's just a wild ride. A wild ride. But I know that God is with me. I know that He's good. And I know that He's for me. And man, sometimes it's hard to remember that. So in the healing journey, I am attempting to not just understand who I am, but who God is. For myself, going on a spiritual journey to understand the scriptures, to understand prayer, to understand why I believe what I believe. I want to solidify my faith. I want to solidify who I am as a person, why I attract what I attract, who the people around me are, what they represent, what they reveal about who I am. And so in healing, I'm really doing my best not to isolate myself, which is really hard. But I do have incredible people around me. I have a strong family. My family is safe. And I know that that's not the case for everybody, but I'm so blessed to have aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents who are boomers. So they say what they say, they do what they do, but they are safe. And I'm hoping to focus on relationships, focus on faith, focus on self, and I think those things ultimately lead to healing. I don't want to just bury my face in books. I think in building that, I build me, and in building me, I build that, and it kind of coincides with each other. And it's gonna be a ride. So, whew. I don't really know. I'm here at the beach in February. Nobody is here, and it's nice. It's kind of nice to be out here by myself, just alone with my thoughts. But yeah, man, I think healing heartbreak is probably the most insane feeling. And then The Body Keeps Score explains why we feel the ailments we feel. And for so long, I had the trauma stored in my stomach. Like, I would just bury things, gloss over it, pretend it didn't matter, swallow it, so to speak. And I would physically feel it, like, in my stomach. And now that everything's to the surface, as afraid as I am, as overwhelmed as I feel, it's almost like it's coming up and out, because I feel it in my throat, I feel it in my heart, I feel it in my chest. My heart hurts, man. I don't like that feeling, but at the same time, I feel like it's on a journey. It has to get there before it comes out. And once it gets in my throat, I think that's what I'm waiting for. I've never raged. I'm afraid of the emotion of anger. I was angry. I didn't like myself. I don't like to get there. I don't like to feel too upset or frustrated, or it just makes me feel outside of myself. But I think it's going to be important for me to feel it, to feel that anger, to rage, and be okay with that being a part of the process. Man, I'm terrified of feeling those things. Feeling that, I'm used to sadness, but anger is different. And I don't know what's gonna come out of me. That's what scares me. But again, I'm trusting the process. I'm gonna get back into therapy, which I should. I got out of because I felt like I was doing okay, but it's time to go back in. I stopped taking my medication. I was on an antidepressant for some time. If you guys want me to explain why I got off of that, I can do that in another video. That's fine. But this is a part of changing my life in a year. Healing edition. I'll be back to let you guys know how it's going. I'll see you soon.